I had to start off with a smile. Happy Real Estate Tuesday, everybody. It's a great night to have a great night. Hopefully, you had a great day. My name is Toria Howard. I am a realtor here in the lovely Detroit and the surrounding areas. A lot of things are buzzing around here. I'm ecstatic because I'm an educator, and today was the last day of school for Thanksgiving break. But I'm here, excuse me, to talk about. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb on my Instagram. Sorry, y'all. I'm here to talk about down payment assistance. So, do you think you're not eligible to purchase a home? You're not qualified. You don't have the money. There's money out here for you. And I know we've heard of DPA programs. People have a lot of misconceptions about them. Let's clear it up a little bit tonight. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're watching this live. Drop a 2 if you're new to my live, and drop a 3 if you're watching the replay. Let me see about. No, that's not what I wanted to do. It should be able to. I don't see it. But anyway, we are here. So, what is down payment assistance programs, right? Because I'm here for a short time and a long time. So, DPA programs help buyer cover upfront costs like purchasing a home for the down payment and closing costs. Now, you will have to have money, some money, but the large portion of the money you don't have to come up with the down payment, closing costs, right? Those are the largest amounts. Down payments usually depending on if it's a FHA is usually 3%. Conventional, you can get 3%, 3.5. It just varies. Sometimes, depending on the loan, it's a jumbo loan, it's like 20%. But depending on your area, it all depends on what is like considered a high income not a high income property, but a high, like a luxury property. Some areas is higher and lower than others. Excuse me. But other areas you just have to know. But that's the typical percentage of a down payment cost. So usually the closing cost is 3 to 5% of the sales price of your home. So that comes from the hi Nisa. Thank you for finding me. That usually comes from the title company. They tell you how much your closing costs are. Come from the title company, but it also comes from your mortgage company because they have all the fees and all these different things. So that is what down payment assistance helps you with. It assists you with the down payment and closing costs. Now, you will still have to come up with money to, excuse me, to get your inspection and pay for your appraisal. So understand that you still will have to have money for your appraisal and your inspection. So what your inspection is whatever you get before you purchase the home. I appreciate you. You have to get the home inspected to make sure there's no default, no things that are not. I should say, yeah, defaulted, but things that are not, that need to be repaired or whatever. FHA guidelines that's a government program, is a mortgage program, has more stringent, inspection requirements. So it just all depends on what type of loan you have and what they're looking for. So that's just something that's a different subject for a different day. So as far as DPA, down payment assistance, you can get it offered from the state, local, or federal governments, and also nonprofits. So it just all depends. So the types of DPA programs, there are grants, there are forgivable loans, the deferred loans, match savings programs. So grants are, of course, money you don't have to pay back. And make sure when you're getting into these situations that you're reading your paperwork. Reading your paperwork is essential. Okay? You have to understand that reading your paperwork is essential. You have to know the difference between what they're giving you. I had a situation where I had a client where they didn't even own their home. They were under a land contract. So, and they had been in that home for like 15 years. And they didn't even know that until they was about to sell their home and somebody else got a portion of the profits. Always read your paperwork and understand your paperwork. And if you don't, get a trusted professional to help you through that paperwork. A lawyer, legal counsel, help you get through that paperwork. So grants are, money that you don't have to pay back, which is the best thing. So you have forgivable loans. Loans are forgiven after living in the property for a specific number of years. So you will have to usually live in the property from 2 to 5 years. Okay, so you need to understand that a forgivable loan has time constraints. You have to live in the home probably at least, like I said, 2 to 5 years. Deferred loans are low interest or no interest loans that are repaid only when the home is sold or refinanced. So even though it's a loan, you're not paying a double mortgage. Like sometimes they had in the past, like when I purchased my home in 2010, I did not read my paperwork properly. And I had a double mortgage. That's why I'm telling you, read your paperwork. So I didn't read my paperwork properly, and I had two mortgages basically. And that is what I mean by reading paperwork. And then you have match savings programs. What that is, are programs that contribute to your savings account are matched with your DPA organization. So whatever you have in your savings, they'll match it. So for instance, if you have 2,000 in your savings, they give you 4,000. If you have 5,000, they give you 5,000. You have 10, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about who qualifies. Who qualifies? Now, a lot of times there's income limits, but FHA has increased their limits. That's federal program, and also they have increased the sales price, because it was like at like the 550 range. They have increased it to like 720, because they see that housing prices are steadily increasing, so they had to increase it. So yes, there's income limits. So usually it's typically 80 to 120% of your area's median income. So you have to understand what that is. That's why you have to do your research and know what those things are, right? So 80 to 20% of your area's median income. Like if you in New York, down payment, you should be getting down payment assistance, honey. But even if you're in smaller towns, you can get down payment assistance with your income. It just all depends. It also depends on your household, how many people you have in your household. First time buyer requirements. Sometimes you have to, have. I'm sorry, you can't own a home within the last 3 years. So even if you are a homeowner, say for instance you own a home for 3 years and you want to sell it and then get into another home, your new home, you still can qualify for down payment assistance, even though you're not a new first time home buyer. But because you are outside of that 3-year limit, you can still take advantage of it. Next thing is your credit score requirements. Usually you have to have a 620 or higher, but some programs accept a little bit lower. So you just have to understand what programs those are, get with your local mortgage broker to figure out what fits for you. Now, the higher the credit score, the lower your interest rate. But a mortgage can help you increase your credit because it is a installment loan. So you'll add that payment history, and you'll also, thank you so much, Ladavia. I think I'm saying your name right. So you'll also add the payment history and also a credit line, which is a positive credit line, because installment loans are not like revolving like your credit cards. It just makes sure that you're paying on time. And then your mortgage, you have at least 15 days. Not telling you to be late, but you have at least 15 days until you get a late payment. You have 30 days, until I say a late fee, and 30 days until you get a late payment on your credit. So having a mortgage give you a little bit more leeway than it is but then you have as a renter. Not saying to be late, but sometimes we need help. Sometimes, you need a little stretch. So just understand that that's what a mortgage can do. And then property locations and price limits, like I was just mentioning. So in certain areas, for some programs, you have to buy in certain areas. So for instance, the Detroit program, you have to buy in Detroit. The Oakland County program, you have to buy Oakland County. The Michigan program, you can buy all across Michigan. So it just all depends on the location. And like I said, there are price limits. So you just have to know that. So how to find DPA programs? How do you do that? So HUD's local home buyer assistance directory, you can go and do your research. I always tell my clients to do your research first. Of course, you can trust a trusted, professional, but never trust anybody's information but your own. Look, if you ever remember the movie, dang, it's slipping my mind now. That's crazy. Diamond stripper. Dang, why I can't think of it. But anyway, it was a good quote from that movie. Players Club. Remember Players Club? She said that her teacher told her never trust anybody's information but your own. So always do your research. You can go to HUD's local home buyer assistance directory to find them. You can go to State Housing Finances Authority to find them, and you can go to your community development programs to find them. Specifically cities like Detroit, they have different. You can go to the Detroit website, a Detroit City website to find those, and they have a whole list. Like I did my research just to know. If you go in there and click on Detroit home first time home buyer programs, they take you to the city website and they give you a spreadsheet of all these different down payment programs in Detroit and Michigan alone. So definitely do your research in your city and your state. So what are some misconceptions about the DPA programs? And let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Put it in the chat. I should say in the comments. I'm saying in the chat, like on Zoom. But put in the comments. What are some misconceptions? I'll have to pay back immediately. No, not for grants and not for forgivable loans. You don't have to pay those back immediately. Grants, you don't have to pay back at all. Forgivable loans, you only have to pay it back if you sell the house before the time limit. So like I said, it's between 2 to 5 years. These programs, another misconception is these programs are only for low-income buyers. That is not true. Depending on your situation, your income, and your city, you can be a higher income individual and still qualify for some assistance. Okay. And then another one, I should say middle income people can still qualify. And then it's too complicated to apply. It's not. So you have so many lenders, so many professionals that you can help you fill out this paperwork, these forms, these things. NACA has a great program as well if you want to get into their program, and they'll walk you through the steps. You have people that'll walk you through those steps. So what are the steps to get approved for applying for DPA programs? So first things first is you have to get pre-approved for a mortgage first. You have to do that. Get pre-approved for a mortgage first. Then your lender should know, but will research eligible programs for you based on your income, based on the area you want to live in, and whatever other limits there are. And then you're going to gather the necessary documents. What are those documents? If you are a W-2 employee, you would need 2 years of tax returns. You're going to need 3 months bank statements, 3 months check stubs, 3 months credit card statements. If you have retirement accounts, they want to see those because that's considered income. Any asset that you have that's generating income, you should bring to the table. Any savings accounts, stocks, bring that paperwork. It is included in your eligibility. So make sure that you bring in that. Now, not saying you're supposed to take the max mortgage, but still bring all that you have. So you can explore your options and then make a decision. Don't ever take your max budget though. Don't ever take the max. And then as a business owner or a 1099 employee, so a lot of programs you're gonna need those. Need your tax returns. They're gonna need your profit and loss statements. You'll need your bank statements. They probably ask for a year to 2 years of your bank statements. They're going to need, all your assets. They're going to want to see, how your business is operating, all of those different things. You need your business paperwork, just like you're going to get a regular loan for your business. Same paperwork you need for that. Same paperwork you're going to need for a mortgage. And then just make sure that you're working with a knowledgeable lender and real estate professional like myself who can guide you along the way. So that's the thing. Interview these people. I have a video that I posted before about, and it's going to be in my book when I bring it out. When I put it out. When I bring it out. Well, when I bring it out. But I highlight some questions that you can ask lenders and your real estate professional. Ask these people questions. So these are the people that can make or break your deal. So you have to be comfortable with the person that you're going to be dealing with. So make sure that they are doing right by you by asking those questions and making sure they are going according to your needs and not theirs. So how does DPA, down payment assistance, fit into today's market? So it reduces the barriers of becoming a homeowner. And that is what it's made for. It reduces the barriers of becoming a homeowner, and you want that fact. You want that factor. So make sure that you understand that you are, in a good place, because the federal government, these states, these counties, these cities have money to give away. So, and it also helps you in a market where there's higher interest rates, which is happening right now. The interest rates have creeped up a little bit after the election. So down payment assistance, hi Nelson, down payment assistance, I'm about to be done. I did this late, but down payment assistance can help you in that manner because you don't have to come up with so much money up front. Now, there's ways you can buy down your rate. You talk to a trusted lender, you're professional for that. There's ways around getting to that interest rate. Like once you get your mortgage, you can, if you are not going over your max budget, if you pay an extra principal payment on your mortgage every month for like 2 years, you're going to beat down your interest rate for one. And for two, you're going to beat down those years. You're going to shave off the years of your mortgage. Also, if you know how much your interest is accrued every day or every month or however they calculate it, then you know that number and you put it on there too, you can beat that. But that's just being financially disciplined and not going over your budget, doing the max budget and being able to have that windfall. Also, if you have a significant down payment and you get some money from somewhere, and you are in, say for instance, maybe you sold a home and you have a profit from there, but you have been a homeowner for 5 years, you can still use the down payment assistance programs. Take that down payment instead of putting it on that house up front and paying the lender all those fees. I'm sorry, lenders. You can take that money and put it on your mortgage instead, and it's gonna knock the interest rate and those years off. It's better to do it that way, set up front. So it's a ways around it. You just have to be a little bit money savvy. So you can also save towards your down payment as well to help fit in today's market. Now, you don't have to, but it's always good to do that. Now, Bank of America's program, which is they're giving $17,000 away for down payment assistance and closing costs. Now, I have a client that used it. I've been with Bank of America for like 20 years, some way, and people talk bad about Bank of America. My first home loan was with Bank of America. They sold my loan. That's what banks do, though. Because they want to move stuff off their books. And, you just have to make sure you do your research and make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure you read your paperwork. Make sure that you are comfortable with the bank that you're going to use. Now, like I said, Bank of America is giving away $17,000. Use it for what it's worth. Use them. They work for you. Use them for what it's worth, and then move on. Detroit is giving away $25,000 to buy a home. Okay, so that is, for that's down payment assistance and closing costs. 25 up. That's up to $25,000, depending on how much the home and all of that, how much you qualify for, income and all of that. The state of Michigan, Michigan State Housing Development Authority (MSHDA) is giving away $10,000 for eligible buyers, and then you have the National Home Buyers Programs where they're giving away loans for down payment assistance programs. So it's so many different programs out here. And then if you live in Michigan, Oakland County is giving $5,000. I know Macomb was giving some money before. I think they are done. They maybe have run out of money. Oakland County was giving a little bit more money at one point too. I think they was at the $12,000 or $14,000 rank, but they went down some. So the best opportunity to buy a home is now. So even if you're not in Detroit, look in your local areas. All these states and cities, these counties, they have these programs. So look into it. There's no way for you not to buy a home when it's money. You're leaving money on the table, right? You're leaving money on the table. So like I said, when I first bought my first home in 2010, I used down payment assistance programs. What is as mass as it is now, but I had got my home at a good rate. I bought a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home for 160,000. No, 150,000. 150,000. And right now it's worth almost 400,000. So, I use down payment assistance programs because I'm a teacher. I use those assistance programs. And let me not forget about that. If you are a teacher, if you are a first responder, if you, of course, active military, y'all don't have to pay for nothing. So, but first responders, teachers, police, firemen, EMTs, they have special programs too for us. So you can use those programs on top of other programs. So it's too much money on the table, right? So, like I said, I just recap a little bit. The qualifications for DPA, typically 80 to 120% of your area's median income. First time home buyer, you haven't bought a house in the last 3 years. Credit score limit is about 620, but they have programs that'll let you do it at a 580, no lower than the 580 that I've seen. And, it depends on the property location and the price limit. So use these programs, people, to get you in a home. So that's it for me. I'm about to enjoy my vacation. These 5 days that I'm going to have. I'm going to do a little work, of course. I'm going to get up and do my same routine, but probably not at 4. But I am going to still get up early and, get my workout on. I'll do all that. But, I'm just happy to be off. So, with that being said, everybody have an amazing night. I appreciate you. Like, follow, share. Give me some flames. Give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know if this was some good information. And I'll see you tomorrow talking financial literacy. Have an amazing night.